So here we are, the EX game and the final episode of Parasite Eve. After all the time we've spent together in this world, discussing biology, arguing semantics, powering up our weapons, and even holding a contest, you may be wondering what's taken me so long to get this up. And luckily, I have an answer. The Chrysler Building is a freaking nightmare! Okay, before we get into that though, let's discuss everything Parasite Eve's extra features are about. If you're wondering why you aren't given the option of naming your equipment until the very end, it's because that gun and that armor are the only things you get to keep with you going into the EX game. At first. Your storage over at the police station will still be intact as well, save for any key items that could potentially break the game by being in your hands too early. The game's difficulty is also ramped up slightly during the second playthrough, but if you optimize your equipment the way I did, you really won't have any trouble at all. In fact, if you did what I did, most everything in the main game will be a joke at this point, especially stacked on top of all the stat boosting items, which have all respawned. Speaking of equipment, there's one thing I didn't touch on during the main playthrough that I want to discuss here, mostly because the quest to get it is tedious, boring, and a general pain in the ass. Notice how Wayne lets you discard your junk with him. This may seem like a convenient way to get rid of a useless item from your inventory, but it actually serves a purpose. If you bring him enough junk, he'll use it to forge a gun for you. You even get to choose what type of gun he makes, and the best part is, these weapons have some of the highest base stats in the game. The catch is how much junk you need to deposit, which is a whopping, let's see here, carry the 4, add that up, yes, 300! This is another reason I recommend doing your grinding for 99 in the museum, because the little green enemies there drop junk from time to time, meaning you'll naturally unlock Wayne's bonus guns on your quest for max level. Oh, one more thing I want to mention. Well, two technically, but who's keeping track? There are a couple little secrets on the world map, and while neither gives you anything, they're kinda cool in their own right. When you choose a location to go to, the camera zooms in and then gives you a panning view of the building. However, if you press select here, the camera will change view to a news helicopter orbiting the city. It serves no purpose, and said helicopter obviously never shows up in the story, but if I may throw out a crazy speculation, I'd like to think this might have been a hidden bonus area at one point. Like, if you discovered this, you get an extra cutscene from the New York news crew or something. I admit I've got nothing to base this theory on, but hey, I can dream, can't I? Also, if you zoom in on the museum, look what's on the banner. I thought this was a prehistoric exhibition, not an avian one. Alright, okay, I'll stop beating around the bush. Let's talk about the Chrysler Building. This is the bonus dungeon you unlock for completing the main game, and you can access it right from the start of your new file. Whether or not you can complete it at that point, however, is another story. Make no bones about it, this place is balls to the wall hard. And to make it even worse, the entire building is 77 floors tall, 70 of which are made from identical hallways and rooms over and over again. Rest assured, if the superpowered enemies don't kill you, the tedium will. This is why I decided not to show my climb through the building. It's boring as hell to play and even more boring to watch. However, getting all the way to the top floor and beating the boss there is the only way to get the game's true ending, so here's the highlights of what this place has to offer you. There are 7 lesser bosses here on every 10th floor, with only 2 of them being new. Floors 10, 20, 30, and 40 are the spider, 2 crocodiles, the centipede, and the triceratops respectively. Floor 50, however, is a giant cockroach. Well, it is New York after all. The worst part is, this is one of those bosses that can essentially replace itself in the battle. What I mean is, after taking enough damage, it lays an egg that hatches into a new cockroach, which starts flying around and shooting fireballs at you. However, notice how it slowly gets bigger. From what memory serves, if you don't kill this thing fast enough, it'll grow into a new boss and the cycle will start all over again, much like the Floor Masters from Ocarina of Time. Just keep your distance with haste to avoid its antenna attack, use liberate if you have to, and you should be fine. Floor 60 is our old friend the crab, but this time he's much faster. Never stop using haste in this battle because remember, all it takes is getting caught in a bubble spread once to ruin your entire day. And finally, Floor 70 is home to the biggest, most powerful, and intricate boss of them all, save for the final one. This is the Queen Hornet, and even with all my preparation, this is where you'll start having trouble. That wave attack covers a huge chunk of the screen, and the boomerangs that follow in its wake don't make things any more comfortable. She also has a nasty habit of summoning drones to the fight, and these things are a pain. Their sting isn't very strong, but it almost always poisons you, which means you have to waste a valuable action on Medic to get rid of the status. What's more, when she's weak, she summons big drones that can take a ridiculous amount of damage before they go away. While I've never actually been attacked by one of these guys, the GameFAQs guide says the big ones can kill you in one shot, regardless of your armor value, so I say don't risk it. Believe it or not, though, the Chrysler Building isn't all that bad. In fact, on every floor, you'll find a treasure room filled with cool goodies. Well, okay, not all of them are goodies, some of them are monsters hidden inside the chest, but at least things drop revives about 50% of the time. The chests that are treasure, however, can be anything from powerful stat boosters to tools and super tools to weapons and armor way more powerful than anything you could find in the normal game. In particular, you're looking for 3 things: the M96R handgun, the CR Armor 2, and the M203 grenade launcher. The CR Armor is the most powerful armor in the game, and the thing you want to burn all your super tools on, transferring your current bonuses to. The M203 has the only truly useful elemental affinity in Parasite Eve: Cyanide. Unlike fire or ice, Cyanide has no resistors, and better yet, it has a chance of one-hit killing anything outside of bosses. This sounds cool, but by the time you get it, you're pretty much powerful enough to do that from sheer stats alone, so it's more for show than anything else. And finally, the M96R has the most broken ability in the game: triple action. This means every time your action gauge fills up, you'll get 3 actions to do anything you wish with. It's so much power in one ability, your bar will fill back up again before you even finish your first set of actions. This is so overpowered, I'm not even going to bring it with me into the final battle for the sake of being cinematic. So have fun with that when you find it. Finally, one more treasure you can find is trading cards of very specific guns. These are rare trading cards, and Wayne will give you 2 weapon tune-ups for every one you bring him. Better yet, there are bonuses for bringing him most or all of these cards. For 12 cards, you get access to his toolkit, which gives you an infinite number of normal tools. And while I didn't have the patience to hunt for all 14, by bringing those to him, you get the Super Toolkit, which, as you might have guessed, gives you infinite super tools for maximum customization. And now that that's all out of the way, I'll throw it back to live commentary so we can take on the boss at the top of the tower and finally put this project to rest. What's up, everybody, and welcome to, well, the last episode of Parasite Eve. Yeah, it's crazy to think of, isn't it? All this time, we've come all this way and done all these things. And speaking of all these things, look at what I've done to my equipment. Yeah, tuned it up quite a bit since the last time you saw it, haven't I? I've got this icon right here, critical percentage increases. That's always useful. Add cyanide to bullets, although that's kind of just for show at this point. It's not really going to help me against the final boss. They're kind of immune to that effect. Also, we happen to pick up the Club 5 on our way up to the top of this tower. Again, we're never going to need this weapon ever for anything, but I guess it's nice to have, maybe? Also, let me show off my armor here a little bit, because a lot more has changed here. Yeah, beefed up the stats a little bit, but that's not what's important. You'll notice I've got a bunch of new icons. I now resist stiffness, I resist darkness. This thing also increases my attack power, and if you look to the right there, it's by a whopping 2 points onto my 99 that I've already got. I guess every little bit counts, right? Also, we've got this one. That's a new icon, PE Light. The PE burden decreases, meaning that bar will go down less and less every time I use a skill. Increases my inventory by 4 slots, and this is an auto-cure, which means if I'm inflicted by a negative status effect, I will automatically heal it. And speaking of items I'm bringing into this battle, I didn't want to go overboard with the healing items because of my auto potion ability. So I've got 3 medicine 4s. Wow, I can't even count today. 2 full recovers, 3 full cures, and 3 revives. I think that's a nice round number. Something to work with, at least. Also, you'll look down here. There's my toolkit that I got from Wayne. maxed out box of bullets, or at least it would be maxed out if I didn't have to reload my gun before the start of this fight. 54 rockets, not going to need those for anything. Neither would I want to use them for anything, because the gun I've got is way more powerful than any rocket launcher I could find at this point. And here we go, climbing up into the last 7 floors. And it's surprisingly small. Yeah, unlike the gigantic maze you have to go through to get to this point, all you have to do is walk right around to go up to the next one. This kind of freaked me out as a kid. After all the trials and tribulations I went through with the past couple floors, I was like, uh-oh. No, what's the catch here? It also started to freak me out because, as you'll notice, the higher up we go, as soon as the CD load times will go by, the more the slime starts to infect the building. Yeah. Silent Hill much? You don't even know, though. That statement is a lot more accurate than you think. Because look, it gets more corrupted and even more corrupted. By the time you get up to the 5th floor, it becomes really, really obvious what's happening here. Yeah. Your footsteps aren't even the normal, this is what it sounds like when you're walking on concrete. No. Now it's really Silent Hill. Look at this floor. It's downright freaky. And the way the light is coming in through the windows almost looks like fangs. Like the building itself is trying to consume you or something. And by going up the stairs, you're essentially going down the throat. Symbolism! It's a thing. Now, are you ready for this? This is the final boss, ladies and gentlemen. And I ask if you're ready because I'll tell you what, I was not as a kid. Look who it is. Now, this confused me at first when I was younger. I was like, wait, are we going to fight her? Like that actual model? But no. This battle is going to be a little bit different. This is not who you think it is. This is somebody we've technically been fighting the entire game. You're Maya, aren't you? Wrong again, Aya. I'm the original Eve. Original Eve? What do you mean? Well, she means that the mitochondria of Melissa was transported from this young body. Hans Klamp gave my cornea to you, and after giving the kidney to Melissa, he continued to culture my liver cells in order to study the original me. As Melissa's body was giving birth to the ultimate being, I made my nest here. Just in case Melissa or the ultimate being failed, at least the purebred would survive. Then this body belongs to your sister. It's been cultured from the real thing. No, that's not true! Well, you don't have to feel too bad about it. Cultured from the real thing, not the actual real thing, I guess. This also kind of throws a monkey wrench in my theory. Like, maybe the person we saw at the end of the wrong ending, the bad ending of this game, wasn't actually Aya. Maybe it was Maya who had secretly taken her place. They do look alike in a lot of respects. Maya, it's me. How do you know my name? Where's Mom and Dad? Where's Aya? This is heartbreaking. Every time I see it, it kind of gets to me. After everything these two characters have been through. Oh, so Eve was the cause of all this. She's the one who made the car accident happen and set this entire chain of events in order. One more revelation right at the end. I'm here, Maya. It's getting hot again. Maya. Maya, answer me. Sorry to break up the reunion. You don't do that. You just do not do that. She's just toying with us now. Trying to play on our emotions, make us mentally weaker. You're challenging me? A purebred? Just remember, the body belongs to your sister. True, but these bullets belong to you. Welcome to the final battle of the game, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mitochondria Maya. Yeah, I bet you didn't see this one coming. I certainly didn't as a kid. And look at that, she'll even use the skill you've been spamming against the most powerful enemies in the game, Liberate. Oh, jeez. That's got some flair to it, some panache. Okay, check this out. Look at what these characters do to you. These little Mayas that are around here. I've been told if you don't shoot them, that they don't do anything, but they tend to do things to me regardless, whether or not I actually act on this situation or not. So in that case, I guess the GameFAQs guide is wrong. They'll tell you there is a way to avoid that, but even if I stand still, they still heal her and they still confuse me. Don't know where you got that idea, but, well, GameFAQs giving false information. I guess, what else is new, right? Okay, little note about this particular part of the battle. I'm just going to screw around with abilities that won't mean anything here, because I don't think there's any way to dodge this attack. I've tried multiple situations to try and get out of this, but nothing has worked. See, she still hits me regardless. Nothing I do can get me out of there, and I was affected by haste, too. I had extra move speed, and I still couldn't get out of the way of that. I guess they expected you to have auto potion at this point in the game. Oh, crap. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad! Oh, that attack hurts. Yeah, and you'll notice that it's starting to get more intricate. Like, she's throwing more and more attacks the lower her health goes down. That's something that gets increasingly more difficult about this fight. Let's do a full recover. And you know what? Let's cast haste again just for shits and giggles. Might as well have it, right? It'll help us escape another liberate, at least. It's not like it's affecting my meter at all. Look at that. That PE burden decrease is helpful in so many ways. Whew! Barely dodged that one. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. How about a full recover? And a pre-raise. Once again, just kind of for shits and giggles at this point. It'll save me an item, at least, in the long run. Which might help me out. Come on, you bastard. She's throwing 3 attacks, which means she's down in health. Okay, let's test this out. Yeah, she still gets healed. Even if I do nothing, absolutely nothing, she still gets the heal from her little minions. I don't get it. I don't understand where the GameFAQs guide was coming from on that. Nothing I do means anything during that portion. You just kind of have to watch the boss heal all the damage you just dealt to her. And again, I tried it from a different angle that time. I still couldn't dodge that attack. Alright. Looks like I'm down to just my medicines at this point. This is coming down to the wire. I may actually have to burn a revive. Or maybe that was just my... Oh yeah, that was my auto life kicking in. How about that? Alright, I think I should use my first action on shooting bullets, which means pre-raise. Should be my second action while I wait for her to reappear. Uh-oh. That's another haste. I love how the scan gives you no information on this. Throw out a confuse. Why not at this point? I haven't even shown off this skill yet during the actual game. Nope. You leave me alone. I don't know what confuse actually does, because in the context of Aya, it screws up your controls. But how does that affect an enemy? Well, they just run around randomly for a little while. Ugh. I'm trying my best, I swear. I am not intentionally getting hit by that. That thing is just way too fast to get out of the way of in time. Jeez, the double action is awesome in this fight. I can't even burn through my abilities fast enough before the AT gauge gets back up. This is why you grind yourself up to full. And here we go. I think we're down to the final cycle of this, because now the little Maya is going to heal her for about 3,000 health. Let's see if we can get that number. Yeah, you saw it right there. Let's see if I can be cinematic about this. That is not cinematic. That is me getting owned. No, no, no. Get out of the way. I'm not dead yet. Don't count me out at this moment. Ha 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 ha! You thought you killed me? Think again! I love Killer 7. Love that moment. And I love this moment, too. Maya. Wait a minute, what's happening? Why is it getting hot again? Why is the screen getting darker? I have awakened. What's this voice? It's coming from within my body. The time has finally arrived. You can't be! Oh, but she can. It turns out the real threat was within. Until a while ago, Maya's body had the most evolutionary form of mitochondria. But now, your mitochondria has surpassed Maya's. I am now the highest form of mitochondria ever present. They're competing? See, I told you these powers were evil. I knew it all along. You never abuse abilities that you don't understand. All it does is lead to trouble. All it does is lead you to trouble. Impossible. We have survived war. The time has come for us to be released. Stop. Don't interfere. What? Are there others too? Other than you and I? Well, who could it possibly be? Maya? This place belongs to me and Aya. Ah! You're not going to interfere. I won't let you. No! The evolution of your nucleus is... Go home. I have to go. Is above. I had no... So it seems. I'm losing consciousness. My body, it's back to normal. Before Eve ever came along. Before I came to have all that power. Maya, I've been waiting. I've always been waiting for you to come home with Mom. And I've always been looking for the other me. But you've always been with me, haven't you? Always. All this time. In more ways than you know, Aya. Come to think of it, that explains why her Liberate form looked like the final form of Maya's boss. Wouldn't you say? Let's go home, Maya. Let's go back for good. You know, until the sequel, of course. At least somebody thought my joke was funny. So, yeah, there it is, everybody. That is the true ending to Parasite Eve. Wow. It feels weird saying those words. All the distance we've come. You know, for a micro RPG, for the first RPG I played on this channel, would you really consider Okamiden an RPG? I wouldn't, but anyway, that's beside the point. Yeah, I think this went pretty well. The idea of it not being a whole lot of episodes, I think paid off for me for the most part, although not in hindsight it will. Not for people who were with me during the whole of this. I am so sorry it took so long for this to go up. And yes, Lock on X Dynams, your prize will be in the mail by the time you see this. I'm sorry it took so long to get this to you, but... Come to think of it, this is the last time I'm ever going to hear this music on the original disc I've owned since I was a child. I mean, I could buy a replacement game, but... Now I'm just getting all the nostalgic feels, and I can't really think of anything to say about this game or the project that I haven't really said already, so... I think I'm going to cut off the commentary right here, guys. So, thank you all for joining me throughout this journey. And please, join me on a new one that will be starting up here, hopefully soon. You never know with me, right? Until then, I am Whatthefnu, and I will see you all next time. Later, everybody. Wait. We just lost our parasite powers. What the hell are we gonna do about Melissa?
ドリルだから味わえる快感。あらゆるものを破壊して突き進め。スクリューブレイカー更新ドリルレロ。